And welcome back to the series, The Road to 2K iRating. Could be 4K, could be 6K. I'm banking on 2K, that is the goal for right now. We are, as always, in the Super Formula Lights cars here at Magny-Cours, not as always at Magny-Cours. It's a track I've kind of struggled with this week. I haven't done too many races. I believe this is only my second or third one. We're starting out with my qualifying lap. It was a 31 something. This was my first lap actually on the vehicle in a couple days. I didn't know if I was going to race, and then I saw it was 8:42. Session starts 8:45, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll pull it out. I'll pull out the rig." So that's what I did. So really no practice going into it. Um, but the last time I was in the vehicle, I was feeling good about it. I could really, I was catching on, and I actually looked at some of my friends' telemetry. He sent me his link to Garage 64, and I picked up a couple things, and I was not immediately. I had to, do a couple laps, um, but I was doing 30.6, which, as you'll see in the race, is my fastest lap in the race. It was, miles faster than this quali. This is a shitty quali lap, but again, it's my first lap on. Um, and this race was a weird one. It was pretty boring on my side, or in my cockpit. We did have a technical difficulty where I have a playseat challenge, and the screw that you hold, like the mounting plate, it's very loose. I've had it. I mean, I've moved with it twice. I've had it several times just fucking fail on me, and this is no different. It falls backwards, and luckily I was in a spot where it only cost me about a second, but it took me about a lap, and here I go invalid on my second lap. So it was a 31.7, and for whatever reason, I'm really struggling with tire warm-up. The first two laps, I'm really slow, and I don't know if that's just an SFL thing or a me thing, but a 31.7 here in qualifying. That put me in P9, I think, at the end. And if we here, we'll start here. So yeah, we got P9. We got several people behind me. The start is one of those starts that's just, honestly, it's kind of ridiculous. I get a good start, but nothing I do gets me to where I get in the end. I have a great finishing position. It should have been better. I have a great finishing position, but it was no input of my own. And we're going to watch this here. I get a better launch than the guy in front, but the guy behind me gets a better launch than me. We're going to go 3 wide here into that turn 1. Guy behind me backs out a little bit. We're getting close there. I need to, again, I talk about it in some of my other videos, I need to trust myself and my other driver to not go out wide and just stick it here. And then I'm going to have a better run on this guy. But as you'll see, I'm able to watch up here. Carnage already. There goes 2. I go P9. Now I'm in P7. It doesn't update automatically. Now look at these 3 guys. If I had a better run, this would not have happened right here. He takes him out. He takes him out. He takes him out. And we're gonna watch that again just because it is pretty damn gold. We're gonna watch it from Joshua Dunn's perspective. And so you see just, what are you doing, man? And it gets ridiculous. So there I am way up there, and watch this turquoise car right here. Dude, lock up, takes this guy. Like, what in the hell has gone on here? And so all of a sudden, I'm in P9, now I'm in P4, and I still wasn't confident in the car yet. In the first lap, in every race I've done at Magny-Cours in this specific vehicle, the first 2 or 3 laps, really, it feels like I'm really walking on thin ice. I'm dancing, trying not to make a mistake rather than trying to drive the car. I'm really not confident in the first couple laps, and you see my lines are all over the place right now, but I'm really not confident. It feels, it's nerve-wracking. I'm really scared to lose the car, and at this park specifically, I'm really uneasy overall. I was really comfortable at Phillip Island. I was really comfortable at the Hungaroring. I was really comfortable at Road America. And this track I think is the weakest of the season so far for me. I didn't I didn't have a single I didn't have the pace I really thought I should have had. But you will see I get more and more comfortable as the race goes on. In the beginning part of the race, what I was going to say earlier was, in the beginning part of the race, I was kind of looking in my rearview mirror, not literally because they're so far back, but I was looking at that relative, and I was worried that guy Muhammad, and then eventually Joshua. I was worried they were going to catch me, and at about lap 5 or 6, I was like, because I figured, I qualied P9. I know my pace isn't representative of that, but I qualied P9. These guys are up here. I'm like, I may not have the pace to be able to keep up with them. And so, till about lap 5 or 6, I'm looking at the relative like, okay, will I be able to hold this position? And then it, it hit me. I was like, bro, you are keeping with um, P2 and P3. What the hell are you doing looking behind you? Go after these guys. And spoiler alert, it didn't end up happening. I didn't quite have the pace. If um, you look after, I'll take a peek afterwards, but um, he was doing, his average was 31.1, 31.2, and then 31.2. And so, obviously it fluctuates every once in a while. I'm not going to do 31.2 every time. My best was a 31.6, 31.6, and like 31.6 as well. And so we were all pretty dead even. And so I got pretty close. And they have a great battle. They're battling the whole time. And we're going to speed this one up just because it wasn't that interesting. But, I still want to post it. Maybe I can just do 4x speed, make it not so jarring. But I still want to post it. I need to start posting some of my L's here. I posted that disaster at Phillip Island, but I need to post more L's just so it's more representative of the journey. Because if you go off of what I've kind of posted, or what I've recorded really, is you're like, how has this guy not gotten to 2K already? I feel like he's only getting gains on the iRating, and then in reality, like at one of the Phillip Island ones that I didn't post, it was so bad I had to take a week off. I didn't do the Nürburgring last week, and I was super excited for it. I had to take a week off. I pulled off a move that was totally protestable. Maybe should have got me banned. I ruined the race of several people. And I went from like P3 to like P17 or something with a terrible move. I was three-legged, three-wheeled, and I'm crawling. And I get onto the racing line. I'm off the racing line, but I'm crawling to the finish line. It's the last lap, and I'm crawling, crawling, crawling. And then I get in the way and cause a huge crash for people that were fighting for a good position. And I immediately alt F forward, and I hadn't been on the game since this week. So it's way back Sunday, last Sunday of Phillip Island. Skipped the NURB, and obviously it was the GP circuit, but I skipped it, and I was excited for it. And here I am at Magny-Cours. So, not my favorite track. I would have enjoyed maybe a week off the car in general was something that I had to get used to. I had to get used to the car again. I don't think so. I think it was really the track, but alright, well, here, this is after I was like, I can keep up with these guys. You see him doing a 31.5, terrible lap, and then there we go, 30.642. I think my best in this race. 30.6 is really my limit, I think, in the race. I think my best was a 30.617. And so I was not super consistent, but I could hit that peak more consistently than I have been on this track. And so really, I think there's two spots here. I mean, I'll get rid of this part. There's two spots here that are super confidence-based. That turn, that little hairpin is actually really easy. See, these guys are kind of crawling away from me, but not a huge amount. I don't take this turn as wide as other people, but that one has a little bit of confidence. This one has a unique amount of confidence. I see Shaggy, my friend, I mean, I guess I can say his name. His name's Shaggy Muffin. Well, I guess that's not even his real name. Whatever. When I was spectating him, he takes a tighter line there. And I feel like that's kind of, if I go back to what he was telling me at Phillip Island, um, there's that turn one as well, and the turn one or turn like three here is similar to that one, where he hugs super close. He says, you know, hit the curb really as early as you can and try to ride it, and then you know you hit the apex and slam it. But and I think that's helped me. I see other people. Damn it, I don't know why it's so choppy. Encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings. Like video settings are really fucking low. But I see other people go wide. It's like a V almost, and I feel like he's more of a U-shaped turn. But yeah, what was that last lap? 30.68. So yeah, I'm consistently hitting that peak. I just need to find more raw pace. And I completely missed the two spots that I was talking about. And you see, they're just scrapping it out, and they really allowed me to get more into it. But you know, they're holding each other back. But if you see you know, all of our best laps, and especially towards the end when one of the guys goes free, we're all still super close. And so there's not a huge pace advantage here. And I finally got this turn, you know, a little bit more confident. I didn't hit it every time. There were several times throughout the race where it was bugging out, and I could not hit it. But I'm getting more confident there. And this turn right here is the most confident. I'm lifting off throttle probably way too much. And I watched this one guy, Philip or Thomas Pierce, something, and his was like a little. He's full throttle, and then a tiny little, probably 75%. He lifts to 75% and then back on throttle. That's a lot of speed there. And then this last turn is so difficult for me for whatever reason. And we'll just speed up again, maybe even to the 16 times. See, I'm getting closer here. We'll speed up to the last lap, honestly, guys. The sun's coming out. And I'm close to this guy. I don't remember if it's 14 or 15 laps. I really don't. But I'm closing in. I think it's 6/10, 7/10 at this point. And I'm like, come on, push. And I'm not getting that exit right there. That exit right there is what I really wanted, to get a good run on him. He didn't have a good exit, so I thought maybe, you know, I could get there, but I didn't have a great turn either. And you see, I'm going much slower right now. If I was, you know, still consistently where I was at, I'd be right on his tail, but I brake later than he does here. I tried to get on power early, and I'm a little bit closer. He has a better exit, but it's not great, and I'm just a little bit closer than I was at the start of the lap. But is it going to be enough? And there, if you see, I got really loose. And I had to like fully lift, and I think that, I mean, that my chances weren't great to begin with, but you want to full throttle this, and I was just really loose, and so, you know, getting the turn in here, I was like, I have to be aggressive, and so I was decently aggressive, but you know, if I nailed the previous turn, maybe I have a run here, and you know, I'm not gonna make a move right here because I was super scared. See, I lift like crazy. But, you know, if I had the balls to stick it, and really the more the skill to stick it, maybe I'd go for it. And I think, you know, if I could bring it all together on this final lap, I do believe P3 is mine. Especially when I look over it after the fact, like, oh, you backed out here, you backed out here. Last turn I kind of cruised because I was like, whatever, it's over. And to bring it home, I did a 30.68. And so that, you know, I'm hitting that lap, but you look at it and it's like, oh my god, if you could put it all together, imagine what it could be. But it was a great fun race, and it's gonna be a pretty short video because I fast forwarded through most of it. But I really wanted everyone to see the start. So, all right, hopefully next week Silverstone, I should have quite a bit of pace, and there'll be more splits as well. So I'm hoping to get a dub or two, for sure a couple podiums, maybe a pole position. Let me try to get my second pole position in these cars. So yeah, we'll see. Peace.